What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is the PGP. That is basically the league war that we are in, and this is week 2. This week we are taking on the PGBL, or the Pokemon Global Battle League, which is Root's league. If you remember from the PCL, when we fought him at, he was a replacement for a coach. Excuse me. We are taking on Vizually. He has a crazy team, and he didn't bring half of his threats, which threw me for a huge loop to start the battle off. As you can see, he brought his 1 point. This Pokemon is 1 point. He brought a 1 point Pokemon against us in Electric. He brought a 1 point Pokemon against us. Some interesting things that did not come. Superior did not come. Both of his Zmons being... Oh no, he had Celesteela, never mind. Tyrantrum did not come, and Mega Medicham did not come. So I did have prep for Superior and Mega Medicham, and so neither of them coming was kind of wild. Let's see. The Tyrantrum was just kind of... I felt like Tyrantrum had a amazing matchup against our team, and I was very shocked to not see it. And as you can tell too, we have a kind of weird team as well. We have a Meganium on the team. Now, this Meganium set I actually saw in the last TTM, or the last TTM summer tournament. A guy used Meganium so well because people never play this Pokemon, and so this is why I drafted it as my main grass type, very specifically for how I'm going to use it in this game, and you guys will see the Meganium used to its full extent. We have a dual screens, Leech Seed, Body Slam, very bulky Meganium. We have basically our Defogger in Rotom Heat. I did delete the sets already, crap. We have an Assault Vest, Max Special Defense Metagross with 4 attacks, of course. We have a Wish Passing, I guess you could say Wish Passing. We just don't have Baton Pass on our Sylveon. We have a Bolt Beam Mega Latios with Calm Mind to set up right alongside Suicune. And then we have an SD Z Stone Edge Terrakion. And it is there to, once we can KO Rabombi, we can take on the entire rest of his team if we can get just a Swords Dance up. As we will be just putting huge dents in his entire team, and we can OHKO Celesteela with Z Stone Edge, I believe, depending on its set. I don't remember exactly which set I calced for. So going right into this battle, no grass type, aka Meganium, is the perfect lead, as I can just start firing off Leech Seeds to whittle things down and to go ahead and get my screens up as well. He goes ahead and he leads with his Uxie. Oh man, this looks so good. I don't think the end result on the video looks as good as this because I don't render it in 4K. If I knew how to render it in 4K, I totally would. But we go ahead and fire off a Leech Seed on the turn 1, as it's basically free, which I'm then going to go ahead and put up a light screen next turn as my plan, as nothing this thing can do will ever OHKO me in any way, shape, or form. As he goes ahead and he clicks U-turn, does 0 damage to us. That's a super effective hit. I get it, it's probably not offensive or anything like that, but it's kind of crazy still. As he goes ahead and he sends in his Nidoking, as I do put up my light screen, and I make a Mad Lad play here, I believe. I have no qualms with losing this Meganium right now. I technically can never die to this thing minus a crit. So I do want to risk my Meganium here by clicking Body Slam, trying to get the para on this Nidoking. As he does make a good play, going right into his Electric. As Body Slam is basically useless against this Mon, I can't do really any damage to it, and I can't paralyze this thing either. So now I do want to go ahead and get Leech Seeds up on this thing, as I can basically 1v1 most of his team minus a Nidoking. Now he does go ahead and I wouldn't 1v1 Suicune if it is a Calm Mind variant. If it's non-Calm Mind, yes, we could 1v1 it. as I do get a huge chunk of health back here. Ree, that's a funny name. We are back up to about 75% as I go ahead and I click reflect. As we do already have the light screen up, and I have nothing better to do to this thing, honestly. As he goes ahead and he clicks discharge, as I do find out he can do literally 0 to us. He's just fishing for a para here, and as he does get it, basically the same reason that I run body slam. I know it's going to do no damage to anything, but I very much value the paralysis I can get on any mons. As if you could just look at all this damage we're getting back, or health we're getting back from leech seed and leftovers. I mean, we're already back up to about 80-ish% now. And I do make the body slam play here if he wanted to switch out. And he does switch out into Nidoking. And I'm just like, oh, please para, please para, please para, please para, please para. No para, but we do get some good chip off on this Nidoking. And we do get back up to about a little over 80%. Now, last time I did stay in, and so I do predict him to click Sludge Wave once more. Seeing that I am fine with losing that mon, and I do go ahead and switch in to my Metagross to eat the Sludge Wave, as it does literally 0. A literal 0 this time. I do want to fire off an Earthquake. He probably thought that I had a Shukaberry or something along those lines, as he does go ahead and switch in his Electric to eat up that Earthquake. And I want to save this mon because I can eat a hit from Nidoking and take it out. And it's also very valuable to stop Rabombi from setting up on me. As I do switch into this, as I know that he can do absolutely 0 damage to our Meganium. And it just gives me free Leech Seeds, Light Screens, or Reflects, whichever one runs out that I feel necessary. At this point, I don't think I need Reflects anymore. I do want to value a Light Screen instead. But at this rate, I do want to click Leech Seed. Or do I click Light Screen? I forget which one. I click Leech Seed. Light Screen probably would have been more valuable to me, but I thought the Electric was going to stay in at that point. Now, I do make another prediction. I'm predicting him to predict me to predict him. And I'm predicting him to click Earth Power, basically, is what I'm trying to say. As I'm going to stay in, and he ends up making the correct play, just attacking what's in front of him and taking me out with the Sludge Wave. Which is A-okay. Meganium did all the work that we needed it to do, chipping down Electric, chipping this down a little bit, and chipping down Uxie as well. As I do go straight into my Mega Latios, as I don't really have a very good way of taking this Nidoking out without Mega Latios. As he goes, go ahead and he sends in his Rin, the Rabombi. As I do just go ahead and fire off an Ice Beam. As I said earlier, we are Bolt Beam on this Mega Latios. Oh, and by the way, guys, this battle is very long. I didn't check how many turns it was. I should have. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna check it right now. 31 turns. The actual battle was a whole lot longer than that. That's what it felt like anyway. I click Ice Beam here again, as I know it can KO this Rabombi here from that range, as it does do about 53-ish%. As I do go ahead and I click Ice Beam again, but he does have a Roost on his set. At this rate, I don't want to take any more damage on my Mega Latios, as he could probably get a Quiver Dance up here, live it, and then do huge chunks of damage with Moonblast or Bug Buzz. So I do go ahead and I switch into our Metagross, as I can eat anything he wants to go for. Even if he gets a Quiver Dance off here right now, which he does get the Quiver Dance off, I can eat any hit that he wants to go for, or I can take a risk and go for the Bullet Punch. And I think it was like a 60 or 70% chance of KOing it with Bullet Punch at this range, depending on his set. I have no idea what his set was. I did not get them after the battle. This is just kind of guessing off the Ice Beam damage. And we get the KO with Bullet Punch, which was so good. Now, again, I don't know. It could have been guaranteed. If he was no HP, that was a guaranteed kill from that range. Excuse me. He does go ahead and switch into his Vincoon, which I do not want to take a Scald from, and I know that I can eat a Scald very easily with my Mega Latios. Breedjects the Mega Latios. That's exactly what he goes for, is the Scald, fishing for the burn, which does absolutely like 10 damage. I mean 0. So at this point, I know that I can actually just get up to a good amount of HP, and then I can probably, if he wants to stay in on me, just set up Calm Minds in this guy's face. As he goes ahead and he clicks Calm Mind once, but even Ice Beam at this range, because I am faster, I can get up to +1 before the Ice Beam goes off, and so even at that point, it does very little damage. We could basically we can set up with this thing no matter what. I will beat him with my setup, as especially if he does not have the ice beam. As let's see, as we do come to find out, he clicks Scald here instead of ice beam. Again, I don't see his sets at the end of the battle. He does get the burn, which is actually pretty great if he did have a Mon in the back with Toxic or Thunder Wave. I did not want either one of those things hitting us, and so now I just have free reign to set up Calm Minds at this point. I'm now +2/+2. And I can 2-hit KO this thing with Thunderbolt at this point right now. Even, okay, now that he gets to +2/+2, I think it's a roll to 2-hit KO, I believe. Let's see. I can go ahead and do this while, because this is a really, really long portion of the battle. So we are +2/+2. And he does swap out, which I thought was kind of crazy as well. Him being at +2 SPDEF, we still could 2-hit KO at that point. At this range, I do get up to +3/+3, which I thought was... Oh, no, sorry. This is the +2/+2, isn't it? Crap, I missed a turn. I do believe that's +3/+3 at this range. So I know at +3/+3, I can go ahead and take this thing out with an Ice Beam, and I can live any hit from any Mon in the back. And so I'm not too worried about the Mons in the back. Now, let's see. We are sitting at 109 HP. As he goes ahead and he sends in his Sin, which is his Celesteela. Now, Thunderbolt does blow this thing back unless it is Wakanberry, which he does make a good switch into his Nidoking on my Thunderbolt, which he's trying to basically wear me down with my burns. I'm now sitting at 99 HP, and he clicks Ice Beam, and it does about 44 damage or so. And I make a terrible misclick. A terrible misclick. I click Calm Mind. I meant to click Roost there. And I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Because now I'm sitting at 45 HP. His Ice Beam now does not enough. And I was, oh my god, I was freaking out. Because if he got that roll right there, we might have lost. As I did not have it. Very, very, very much left for Celesteela at the end. Like I do have some, but not a lot, depending on his set, which was huge. Or if he gets a crit here in the next couple turns, I am gonna have to try and roost back up to full. Because at that point we were +3/+3, so the roll actually, we guaranteed lived that, I believe. Let's see, we were at 45. He must have not been fully invested, I don't believe. Again, I don't know his set, so I don't know how I lived that, to be honest. We do fire off the Ice Beam here now that I do feel like I have enough HP. Once I get rid of this Nidoking, there's absolutely nothing that can kill our Mega Latios. As we are sitting at 71 HP, but we are sitting at +3/+3. Or is it, no, it's +4/+4 at this point. +4/+4. As the Thunderbolt just goes ahead and takes on the Celesteela, no problem. It's not Wakanberry. He would have stayed in last time if it was Wakanberry, but even then, it can't do anything to us. Like Leech Seed wouldn't have stalled us out, as we could have just roosted and then Thunderbolted again. As he goes ahead and he sends back in his pin. And at this point, I think it's smartest for me to roost up, just in case this thing has a move that I don't know about, or it gets a crit, anything along those lines. As he goes ahead and he clicks U-turn, and it does a decent chunk of damage to us, about 20% or so. And he goes back, or is this the first time? Let's see what's coming. Vin. He goes back into his Vinkun. At this point, 2 Thunderbolts wins me the game, no matter what. So I do go ahead and fire off the Thunderbolt here on the Suicune to just go ahead and knock out this Vinkun. And then in comes the Uxie. Okay, now I did mess up the calc a little bit. So the reason that I do the thing that I'm about to do here, which is a roost, is because I looked at the calc wrong, and I didn't remember that that little bit of chip was already on the Uxie. That little bit of chip on the Uxie guaranteed us OHKO this thing, depending on its set. Kind of the bulk, like just a max HP set, is what I was calcing on. But I didn't see the little bit of chip on there. So that's why I roosted there, not trying to like stall him out or anything along those lines, but I just wanted to make sure that I could 2-hit KO and live. So I do go ahead and fire off the Ice Beam, and it is an Oko at that point. And Mega Latios gets 5 kills this game, and we do win this game 5-0. That means us as battlers in the PGP so far are 2-0 and absolutely killing it. We just took down what I feel like, because see, I don't know, this is the only league in the entire tournament that I know the least amount of people. So of course I know Root. I've heard of Invivid Color. I've heard of Randy, but I've never battled or even been in a league that they're in, I don't believe, unless either one of them are in APA Little Cup. And then I've heard of Vizually, and I've seen some of his videos on YouTube. And I felt like this was super cool to battle him this week. And this tournament's really given us some opportunities that I don't think I ever would have had. And it's a really cool thing, and I've enjoyed my time here so far. If you guys are hyped for this very fun tournament that we're a part of, and you enjoyed the battle and what we've been doing so far, please drop a like down below and subscribe if you'd like to see more, as I can tell you guys what our next week matchup will be. Our next week's matchup is terrifying. Our next week's matchup, we are taking on the APA, and I personally am taking on its. We have played once before in NCP Season 1. That is the week that I forgot to bring Flare Blitz. Not forgot. I chose not to bring Flare Blitz on my Megazard X, and basically was walled entirely by a Bronzong because I didn't bring it. So we are taking him on next week. I hope you guys have enjoyed this so far. I will see you guys next week. Peace out.